Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and I'm out in the backyard again today, taking on a big task. A couple of days ago, I hauled every single one of these 50 bags of mulch and placed them in all of my mulched paths. And then I took a couple of days break because it was a lot of work. I was super proud of myself for doing that. I was very good at using my knees when I was carrying them and lifting them, which was great. But today I am spreading them, and I definitely did not do as good of a job. I did a lot of bending at the waist, and so my lower back is pretty exhausted. I'm thrilled with the results. I don't love spreading mulch, but man, when you stand back and take a look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm so happy to have that task done. I still have about 25 bags of mulch that are going to be going in the new garden that I'm currently working on. Now, it is the end of ranunculus season for me, and even though you might still see some blooms on these blooms are old. I plant my ranunculus in fall and then I overwinter them outside, and they give me very late winter, early spring blooms, and they do not last very long here in the North Texas area at all. They do not like to get above about 80 degrees, and we've already hit 80 degrees many a times already this spring. So once the leaves start turning brown or yellow, where they just start looking dry and not great, I begin pulling all of my plants. I used to wait until they all turned all brown and died all the way back to the surface, and then I found that that was really difficult to locate the corms, the ranunculus corms underneath the soil. And so I've started doing it this way. I pull them all out and I lay them out in a tray, and then I put them in the shade and I leave them outside for a couple of weeks and let them dry out. And then I cut them and I store them until next fall, which is lovely. And I'm excited to get this bed cleaned out because I am going to be filling it with peppers. Okay, I'm just smoothing the soil out. This bed was amended with compost in the fall, and I'm out of compost, I realized today, and so I did not add additional compost to this, but I am going to add some plant tone organic fertilizer. It's a granular, slow release fertilizer, which works really, really well. But I think it's going to be fun to fill up this bed with some beautiful peppers. Now, all the peppers that I'm planting today, I grew from seed. I started them in February, and they've grown to beautiful plants. I'm only doing 6 pepper plants. That is more than enough for my family. I started a bunch more than that, but I gave them to my friend Kristen so she can grow some in her garden. And my friend Kristen over at Hidden Haven Gardens, you've probably seen Kristen many a times, but she just posted her very first garden tour. So if you're interested, be sure to jump over and check out her first garden tour video on YouTube. Rainbow mixed bell peppers produce blocky fruits in a range of colors including red, yellow, orange, purple, and green. Plants grow about 20 to 30 inches tall and prefer full sun with consistent moisture for best fruit production. They are grown as annuals in most climates and are valued for their sweet flavor and versatility in cooking. Cubanelle peppers are long, light green, sweet peppers with thin walls and a mild, slightly sweet flavor. They grow on plants about 24 to 36 inches tall and thrive in full sun with warm, well-draining soil. They can turn red in their later life. Typically grown as annuals, they are perennial in zones 10 plus and are popular for frying, sauteing, and stuffing. Now I am adding in some tomato cages to support these pepper plants. I'm not putting a cage for every single one of these. Basically, I'll put in 3, and then those 3 will help support all of the ones in between them. So it works out well to do that. You do not have to stake these up with tomato cages. I just find that it helps a lot with the pepper production, and it keeps everything looking nice and tidy instead of the plant flopping and laying on the ground. Okay, we're over in the back portion of the backyard garden, and this is actually where I started a new garden last week over towards the right side of that trough. And I don't know why it took me this many years to have an epiphany to just go ahead and start putting stuff into the ground and stop stressing about prepping the entire bed prior to planting something. But I decided, I guess I just hit me that I just need to go ahead and put things in the ground. So I am going to put in a Mr. Lincoln standard rose tree here. And I've had it for a couple of years. My friend Kristen gave it to me as well. And it always falls over in this pot because I have it in just an old plastic pot. And I think it would add some really beautiful height right here. So we're going to work into this soil. Now, this soil has tons of clay. And so I do add some amendments, but not tons and tons of amendments. One thing about clay soil, it does struggle with some drainage, but a lot of people don't realize how much nutrients it actually has in it. So while I do mix in some soil, I don't mix in a ton, specifically because I realized I forgot I don't have any more compost available for today's project. But it is what it is, and I'll keep an eye on this rose, and if it struggles, then I can pull it out, amend the soil more, and put it back in. Mr. Lincoln is a classic hybrid tea rose with large, velvety, deep red blooms and an intense classic rose fragrance. It grows about 3 to 6 feet tall on upright stems, making it excellent for cutting. It thrives in full sun with well-draining soil and blooms repeatedly from summer to fall, hardy in zones 5 through 9. Now, this rose is very tall for a standard tree rose, and so the stake that was originally in there was doing absolutely nothing. So I came in with a couple of my plastic stakes and put in two instead of one. I spread them out about 6 inches apart, and then I'm just utilizing some garden Velcro to secure it in place. Okay, heading more towards the right side from where we were working on the Mr. Lincoln rose, I have an additional rose in a cheap plastic pot that I would love to get into the ground. This specifically is a peace rose, and I believe it is one of my original roses from Walmart years ago, which is really fun. I have the peace rose and the Chicago peace rose, which is more pink than the peace rose. And along this wall, I used to grow a bunch of hypericum berries, but they really kind of struggled over the years. And as I'm digging here, I'm finding that there is a lot of moisture here. And I think it is coming from my drip irrigation at the back. You might see the drip irrigation running from behind. And I end up using a couple of zip ties to tie off and stop that irrigation, so no more water will go here. And then that'll allow me to just really discover what's going on with this soil, and hopefully it will work well for the Chicago, or this peace rose, not the Chicago peace rose. And I found a bag of potting soil that I'm going to use to amend a little bit as well. So we will see how this guy does. Peace rose produces large, elegant blooms in soft yellow with blush pink edges that deepen with weather and age. It grows about 4 to 6 feet tall and is known for its vigorous disease resistance and easy to grow. Thrives in full sun to part shade with well-draining soil and blooms continuously through the season, hardy in zones 6 through 9. I do think that these roses will do pretty well. They're very well established already. I didn't disturb their soil too much when I moved them from container into ground, and I can't help but think that they will do better in the ground, even despite the clay. Now, I will keep a close eye, and if I feel like I'm seeing some issues where they're overly saturated or struggling, I will pull them up and I will go ahead and re-amend that soil and see how it does. But clay soil, while it doesn't drain very well, it holds a lot of awesome organic material and can be an amazing fertilizer. So I'm really excited to see how these do. And I think that this is going to be a really pretty area in the future. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think I pushed myself a little too hard. I probably should have divided this up into a couple of projects. That mulch should have been a project in and of itself. But we're done. I'm done for the day, and I'm excited because the next few days I'm taking my daughter to tour some colleges, which is crazy that we are at that point in life. But I hope you guys appreciated today's video. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.